Are you going to say the first word, or I guess I am now?
Fine, I guess I will. Hello and welcome to the PHNX D-backs podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a sad boy. That's B-O-I. This guy over here, he's my vice sad boy. He's also known as Thunderstick Jesse Friedman.
That was rough, Derek.
That wasn't great.
It was very, very familiar. It's like watching the same movie like over and over and over again, but it's like your least favorite movie.
And you're expecting the ending to be different?
Yeah, and you like have a hope that somehow the movie will get better when you watch it for like a second, third, or 10th time, but it never does.
Right. No, it doesn't. This show is very depressing, of course. We are brought to you by the fine folks at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our code of PHNX. You get all sorts of wonderful goodies. That's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Oh, Jesse, it's not just one heartbreaking loss in this series. It's two. This was a 5-game series that we were very worried about. And to be honest, if we want to start looking at silver linings and accentuating the positive, this was a very winnable series for the Arizona Diamondbacks that they actually played pretty well in, right? It's just some disastrous late inning situations led what should have been a 4-1 series victory for the Diamondbacks into a 3-2 series loss for the D-backs to the Dodgers. So it was just there was a lot of things here that were encouraging, but it's hard to be encouraged after seeing Zac Gallen have the tremendous day he had, only to have it pissed away there at the end of the game.
It was a tremendous day, and I don't want to lose.
It was Galentine's Day.
It was Galentine's Day, and it was the best Galentine's Day that I can ever remember. I mean, he set a career high with 8 innings pitched. Zac Gallen somehow 13 strikeouts. That was also a career high. Somehow Zac Gallen had never thrown more than 7 1/3 innings in his career before tonight. He's been obviously an excellent pitcher for a number of years, but he's been mostly a 6 or 7 inning type of a guy, mostly a 6-inning guy up to this point.
If there was a weakness that we could say he had in his game, it was the fact that sometimes when he went late, that's when you would see him kind of fall apart a bit there. So he didn't tend to have that longevity to his game.
13 strikeouts, though. I mean, I think he had 18 whiffs. He still isn't really throwing his changeup anymore, which kind of baffles me because a year or two ago, that was what Zac Gallen was known for. If any one pitch, really stood out in his arsenal, it was the changeup, and he threw 2 of them today, and he threw 1 of them, I believe, in his last start. But his curveball is good enough that apparently he doesn't need any other secondary pitches. I guess he throws the cutter too, but I mean, it's basically 2 different types of fastball and the curveball, and the Dodgers were just off balance all night. And I know there's a number of people, including possibly ourselves, wondering, should the Diamondbacks have just brought Zac Gallen out for the 9th inning? Derek, I'll let you take the first stab at that question.
I think the problem here is, and I think it was Strom's Lab on Twitter said it best. Really what we're looking at is a team that has really done nothing to address their bullpen situation. Yeah. They don't really even have any they're not adapting to this season. They're not trying to put guys maybe that are starters or, maybe starting quality pitchers out there in the bullpen. Caleb Smith has been good at times. There's been some couple of guys you can say that about. Even Reyes Maranta has been very good for this team, considering he was a DFA candidate from the Los Angeles Dodgers that the Diamondbacks picked up. But that's the problem, right? To have Reyes Maranta as your number 1 option tonight in this situation just shows how lost this bullpen truly is, as far as guys that they can count on and who can they truly turn to when when the game is on the line and they really just need to get through 1 inning without giving up a run. Obviously, that didn't work out for him tonight. Reyes Maranta didn't work out. Joe Mantiply didn't work out. Nothing in this bullpen seems to work out. And I understand.
It's a bit of an understatement.
I can only imagine the frustration, for Mike Hazen, for Torey Lovullo, right? Like, I know a lot of people want Torey Lovullo's job after tonight, right? I know a lot of people are so mad about him not sending Zac Gallen back out there. And to be honest, I don't see a reason why, but then if it if it goes the other way and then Zac Gallen blows the game, then we're screaming at Torrey, why didn't he take him out, right?
I don't know if we are, though.
Really?
Like, on a night like this, do you really think people are going to be screaming if Zach... I think people...
If Zac Gallen blew the game after getting the lead there after 8 innings...
I mean, if he throws like 125 pitches, like, yes. But if Zac Gallen comes out and gets to like 110 and the Dodgers walk him off, I don't know. Like, that just has a different feel. I mean, Zac Gallen at this point, and what I think a lot of our audience members are probably thinking right now is that, like, hasn't he earned your trust? Like, do you really believe that Zac Gallen, 98 pitches into one of the most dominant starts of his career, is less effective than Reyes Miranda or Luis Frias or Joe Mantiply or whoever you're going to throw out there right now?
Let me ask you this, though. I mean, of course, hindsight is 20/20, but were there not starts this season where Zac Gallen did stay in too long and everything fell the fuck apart?
But
and it didn't happen in the 9th inning. It happened in the 6th, or it happened in the 5th, right? So there were times where Zac Gallen was cruising and then all of a sudden things fell apart. And we said that. We were like, why didn't you pull him out? You knew you were coming up against the third time and through the rotation. Right? So it's easy to question the manager when the things don't go right. Right, is really what it comes down to. But it's also easy to get mad at this team and easy to get mad about managing this team in this way when you know the bullpen is so ineffective, right? And that's really what it comes down to is most people, including these two guys right here, feel like we would have had a much better chance to send Zac Gallen back out there to win. But then there is that questioning of that. Not to mention, we talked to Zac Gallen one time about throwing a no-hitter, and he didn't sound like he was willing to put up with that bullshit for over 100 pitches for too long, right? Like, even a no-hitter wasn't important enough to Zac Gallen for him to like go out and throw 125 pitches like he said. So I doubt that a game like tonight really is either, but it's the Dodgers. You're on a roll. You're doing so well. 13 strikeouts, a career high, 8 innings pitched, a career high. I would have liked to maybe see him do it too. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's just damned if you do, damned if you don't. To be honest, the Dodgers are just a really good team. And you just got to hand it to them that the fact that when the game is on the line, they seem to be incredibly good at stepping up in those situations, in those come from behind victories. The Dodgers run differential, Jesse, is like 326 this season. Plus 300. That's absurd. The Diamondbacks are minus 29, minus 30 something right now.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are plus 326. Like, it's just an incredible team. But here's the thing. Is they're showing cracks in their armor, and I feel like that's what we saw in this series. I don't want to try to be that guy that's always looking for the positives, but that's what we do on this show. And you gotta.
We're not allowed to look for positives.
You gotta hand it to a team.
People are angry, and they just want you to be angry with them.
Well, okay, here, maybe this will make you less angry because our friends from Cespedes Family Barbecue had some things to say about the Arizona Diamondbacks on Twitter tonight, and that was judge this, Pujols that, Dodgers juggernaut, whatever. I'm focused on crafting my 2023 NL champion Arizona Diamondbacks hot take. This man didn't say 2024, Jesse. He didn't say 2025. He said 2023. Chuckle all you want, but have you watched Zac Gallen?
Yeah. He was just, I mean, he was on another level.
He really was
in this game. It was really incredible. And I think it does build confidence for next year, right? Even though the Diamondbacks don't win this series, which it still baffles me. We just played a 5-game series with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 4 days. This is a wild,
it felt like minor
league
league shit. Like, it felt like where you play,
where you have a
Sunday to Saturday, right?
6-game series or something. But yeah, I'm told the Diamondbacks won't be playing the Dodgers tomorrow. I'm not sure if I actually believe that, but that's what I'm told.
There's a positive. The Arizona Diamondbacks do not play the Dodgers anymore this season.
There you go.
We did it. It's over. The nightmare is over. So,
but it does I think this series, and even though it had such a tragic ending, the Diamondbacks will open next season playing 8 of their first 10 games against the Dodgers.
Why are you like this?
But
why are you like this?
I am saying this in a positive manner because this was a series that follow me here. All right.
I'm giving you. Go ahead.
This was a series where the Diamondbacks held their own against the Dodgers.
Absolutely.
And even though they did blow a couple of games, they really looked like they could hang in there. And I know the Dodgers, Mookie Betts was out of the lineup today. They might be taking their feet off the gas just a little bit here down the stretch, but it looked like a team that the Diamondbacks could compete with even on the road. And that's not something that we've seen in a long time. I mean, when the D-backs won a game in this series on Tuesday, it was the first time they beat the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in more than a year. And at this point, even though this series leaves a sour taste in your mouth, going into next year, the D-backs are going to remember this. And they're going to remember, the pain of a game like this, but they're also going to remember being right there, late in all of these games. Really, only the first game of this series where the Dodgers actually under control or in control the entire way. So I think it's a positive overall going into next year, just knowing that you have a shot against a Dodgers team that is, frankly, one of the best baseball teams that we've probably seen in more than a decade. I mean, this 2022 team is just ridiculously good.
Tyler heard in our comments that earlier today the Giants called up Shelby Miller for their bullpen.
I did see that.
So at least, I mean, there's that. At least we're not doing that.
Shelby Miller's pitched pretty well for them in AAA, but I don't know at this point.
Giants fans are crazy mad about this team, and I think that's hilarious considering that they're just 1 year removed from one of the best seasons that they've ever
winning
had.
107 games.
And they're already mad at their ownership group for not putting a competitive team on the baseball field. And I am like, hi.
Giants fans are just utterly spoiled.
Calm your shit down, okay? But let's take a look at the numbers in this series because, like Jesse said, the Diamondbacks really did hang in with the Dodgers in this one. That win-loss total really feels like it should be swapped. It really feels like it should be 4-1.
It could be 4-1.
To be honest, and it could be. But the starting pitching ERA, Madison Bumgarner, who we have not talked about, was very, very good. Zac Gallen was very, very good. They have gotten some very good starting pitching.
Trey Jameson
very, very
was good.
Incredible in this series. So really the offense didn't show up in a few games, and they just had disastrous innings, it feels like. An 8th inning here, a 9th inning there that fell apart that really led to two losses.
Look at the batting average with runners in scoring position. I mean, that's your series right there, right?
Yeah,
the Diamondbacks hit 149 with runners in scoring position in the series. They were 7 for 47. That's a lot of opportunities. And I know it's a 5-game series, but 47, that's a lot of at-bats with runners in scoring position in a 5-game series. The Dodgers only had 36 or 37, I believe it was. But yeah, the D-backs just couldn't come through in some of those big moments where it counted. And as we saw in this one, the Dodgers are at their best late in the game, especially facing this version of the Diamondbacks bullpen, which is pretty tough to watch.
I brought up Bumgarner. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit.
Yeah.
Very good day for Madison Bumgarner.
It was a really good day.
And I guess I kind of joked on Twitter about is Mad Bum hashtag good again, and that upset a lot of people, and I know why. But
because he still has like a ERA of around 7 in his last 10 starts.
Something like that. Or maybe the way that we compared numbers to other guys' numbers who recently just got DFA'd by the Chicago White Sox. But we won't talk about that. What we want to talk about is how he was very good. And it's weird that Madison Bumgarner now is in a similar position as like the rookies, where it's like, all right, this is encouraging. Let's see what happens the next outing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get too excited about a good outing, but at the same time, I will say that Madison Bumgarner is a very capable pitcher who has been trying some things this season to be more effective. And in reality, those might be the things that are causing him the issues. So
yeah,
who knows if maybe getting back to the basics for him and doing what he's used to might help out. He looked very good in this series.
This was a different game for Mad Bum in my mind, because we've been talking for a while about there was an instance where Mad Bum was skipped in order to work on some things with Brent Strom, right? We saw him come back. He kind of looked like the same pitcher. This was the first start to me where Mad Bum didn't look like the same pitcher. Like, he was actually trying different stuff out there. The man threw his curveball more than any other pitch in that start, which Mad Bum has like a pretty solid curveball, but it's, at least in my memory, it's never been a primary pitch for him, or even really a secondary pitch. Like four-seamer, cutter, those are usually his main offerings, with the curveball kind of being a distant third most of the time. But it was a really, really good pitch for him in that game, and I don't think the Dodgers were expecting it. I think they were like, this is not the Madison Bumgarner that we're used to facing, and they just didn't know what to do with it.
We talked about Dre Jameson changing up in his start, going with more sliders than fastballs that he did in his first start of the year, right? So, like, baseball is kind of a game of that. You do have to kind of come in with a game plan, and you do have to kind of take your opponent a bit by surprise because there is a lot of footage on you. They've seen you a lot, especially
the Dodgers have seen a lot of Mad Bum.
A lot of Mad Bum, right? So, but yeah, there was just so much encouragement. There's so much encouraging things happening in this series for the Diamondbacks, even for them to come out losing the series 3-2, right? And that to me, as I say that out loud, it sounds like loser talk. I get it, right? But what I'm saying is that they really did play the Dodgers well, and this is a team that has a payroll that's a third of what the Dodgers is. The guys that are doing it, the guys that were effective in this series, Corbin Carroll, Jake McCarthy, Dre Jameson, these are guys that are going to be part of the Diamondbacks organization for a long time. Hopefully, a very long time.
We saw Corbin Carroll get booed. In this series,
we did
at Dodger Stadium.
Get used to it, Dodgers fan. You're gonna be booing that guy for years.
First of many.
Oh, you're gonna fucking hate him. You're gonna hate him so much, and we're gonna love him, and we're gonna love how much you hate him. But one guy that the Dodgers fans absolutely love to hate is Christian Walker because he abused the Dodgers. He once again did it in the series, and he was a big part of the offense. He is our DraftKings king of the series because this guy, 300 batting average, 2 home runs. Almost had the winning home run in this game, which we were very excited about.
Do a crew chief review for that dinger.
Yeah, crew chief review that, pal. Buddy, 4 RBI in this series. But again, the Diamondbacks, they definitely got a lot of production from the team. Once again, it was a team effort. Christian Walker just, once again, proved that he loves to hit the ball in LA.
This might make people angry again. I know we're sort of on a positive side, but I'd forgotten for a second that Jake McCarthy was thrown out stealing second base.
Yeah.
And that Christian Walker homer.
That would have been 2 runs.
Could have been a 2-run shot. Now, granted, Mookie Betts' single might have brought in 2 runs anyway.
Right. Who knows how the entire game transpires.
But yeah, you probably play the 9th inning a little bit differently if you have a 2-run lead as opposed to a 1-run lead.
Yep.
I'm not done though. Can I talk a little more about the bullpen?
I would love it if you talked more about the bullpen.
All right.
As long as you're going to bash them and say mean things.
I am sort of going to do that.
Let's go.
So here's the deal, right? The Dodgers in this game used 4 relievers. It was Evan Phillips, Alex Vesia, Brusdar Graterol, and Craig Kimbrell, right? Those are the 4 relievers that the Dodgers used in this game.
It's Graterol, Bob Brenly.
Yes. I think you said Graterol. But we've also mispronounced a few names on the PHNX D-backs podcast. Derek has. I never have. Derek has many times.
They're saying it wrong. They're pronouncing their own names.
My point is that I'm pretty confident, Derek, that all 4 of those relievers that I just mentioned, let's face it, you guys probably didn't even know Evan Phillips or Alex Vesia, right? Like that's not like a staple in your mind.
You don't know who they are. Don't pretend like you did.
Yeah, don't pretend like you did, right? But all 4 of those relievers would probably be on the top 10 list of Diamondbacks relievers of all time.
Of all time, you said?
Potentially. At least and I know some of them don't have like a long track record, but Evan Phillips has a 1.24 ERA.
In how many games, Jesse?
It's like 50 or 60 innings.
Yeah, that's it.
Like he's done this for the entire season. If Evan Phillips were on the Diamondbacks, he would be like their best reliever by a mile. It wouldn't even be close. And then you have Alex Vesia, who's a lefty for the Dodgers. Over the last 2 years, if you put those 2 years together, it would be the best 2-year span by a left-handed reliever in Diamondbacks history. I'm pretty confident saying that. And it's Alex Vesia. Like, this isn't Aroldis Chapman. This isn't like a household name. That's just how good the Dodgers have been at putting together a bullpen. And then Brusdar Graterol, right, comes in. He throws 102 miles an hour. Poor Corbin Carroll probably didn't see that in Reno a few weeks ago, right?
God.
And he's just he just came back from injury. He's not even like their 9th inning guy, right? Yeah. You could make an argument that Craig Kimbrell is the worst reliever on the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has a 4.14 ERA at this point.
Is.
Yeah, statistically he actually might be, but it's just crazy that like the Dodgers are so good at putting together a bullpen, and the Diamondbacks have been so bad at putting together a bullpen. And this is not just this year, Derek. It's not last year. It's not just the last few years. Historically, since the Diamondbacks inception, and if you've read my articles, you've probably seen me say this, since the Diamondbacks inception in 1998, according to wins above replacement, no team has fewer wins above replacement from the bullpen than the Arizona Diamondbacks. That is over almost 30 years now, right there. I guess, what are we at this point? 25. This is the 25th season in D-backs history. Over 25 seasons, the Diamondbacks bullpen has essentially been the least productive in all of baseball. And it's about time the Diamondbacks ownership, Mike Hazen, the front office, that they figure out how to fix this problem. And it's not just this regime, right? I can't just pin this on Mike Hazen. No. It's been like this for years, and the Diamondbacks need to find a way to get over this, or it's just going to keep happening, right? We're just going to keep coming on here talking about Zac Gallen throwing 8 dominant innings and just seeing the whole thing fall apart in the 9th inning, right?
I don't want to.
We don't want to watch this movie again. We've seen the movie too many times at this point in the season, and it's gone on far too long in Arizona.
Here's the thing. Not only is it that bad as far as the bullpen goes, but tonight in this game, Reyes Maranta was the Diamondbacks' best option to come out there. And this is
I don't think any of us would even argue with that.
No, I think that's what most of us probably wanted to see. At least, again, it being with all transparency, it's what the two of us wanted to see. We were saying it when they decided to pull Zac Gallen out of the game. We were like, either leave Gallen in or at least go to Maranta if you're going to go to somebody, right? Well, that didn't work out. And it starts to feel... we start to feel a bit like Torey Lovullo, where it's like, is anything ever going to work out? Can any suggestion be the right suggestion? But that's how good the Dodgers are, is that the Diamondbacks' number one option tonight in a game where they had a lead against the Dodgers in the 9th inning was somebody that the Dodgers recently DFA'd.
Oh, my gosh.
Because they have such an abundance of talent that Reyes Maranta did not fit in. And yet over here, as part of the Diamondbacks, he is one of their most consistent relievers. That just shows the gap as far as where the Diamondbacks are and where the Dodgers are. The Dodgers, though, have plenty of experience of blowing important games late after they do have a lead, going through the same thing that the Diamondbacks have, right? So it's like the Dodgers, I feel like, have tried to do everything they can to proactively make their bullpen as good as you've described, with all of those pieces, with all of those names that you've never heard of before that are doing it at the level that they're doing it, right? But it's not like the Diamondbacks haven't tried. It just doesn't work out, right?
Yeah.
And trust me, also, it's easy to say, stop hiring, stop giving money to guys that are at the tail end of their career to come in here and be closers. But it's not like they haven't tried to address the issue at the same time. Shit, Mike Hazen went out and got 2 closers this offseason.
Yeah.
And that still didn't work out.
I know it's easy to look back on that now and be like, oh, I mean, Ian Kennedy, Mark Melancon are so
those are old guys. Oh, why'd you pick up these veterans? But Mark Melancon led the league in saves last season. Yeah. Last season, 2021. It's like, it was right there.
In the defense of Mike Hazen, that's a great point. Like, let's not pretend that we weren't all thinking about how great it was that the Diamondbacks had not 1 but 2 closers coming into this season, right?
I made several jokes about it.
Yeah.
I know the words, well, if one guy doesn't work out, we got another guy fucking flew out of my mouth jokingly. But anyway, we thank you guys again for being here. If you guys are members of PHNX, we thank you for that. We love you for that. We've talked about our meetup tomorrow. We're going to talk about that some more. But if you're a member already, you're the best. If you're not a member, sign up. Get yourself a month-to-month membership. You can get your first month for just 50 cents. Jesse was telling people like that, and they said 50 cents, that's it? I'm in.
Yeah, right? I was amazed. It's like, some people were like, wait, really?
50 cents? That's it.
Which I have to applaud people today because, as someone who writes articles that are frequently behind a paywall, you just have to be ready on Twitter that you're gonna tweet out an article and someone's gonna want to read it. And they're going to see that it's behind a paywall, and they're just going to get really mad at you, and they're just going to heckle you in the comments, right? But today that didn't happen. People were like, well, I'm not a subscriber, but, and they made some...
We have the best followers on Twitter.
We really do.
You guys are the best. I don't know about the other beats. I apologize for them and their followers, but we have the best followers. You guys
I basically just
always
told
have a
them,
good attitude about it.
I just said, you can get your first month for 50 cents. People were like, okay, done.
Mm-hmm.
I was like... Wow, is it always this easy to get new members?
Just ask nicely. Just be nice. And you can also get a annual membership, and you'll get yourself a free T-shirt from the PHNXLocker.com. So if you've thought about picking one of those up, you might as well get the membership along with it. Regardless of your membership status, you will get access to our members-only Discord, which is always a great place to be, as well as members-only discounts over at the PHNXLocker.com. If you're here right now with us in the chat, we appreciate you guys for being here. Staying up late with us on this special PHNX D-Backs After Dark episode. If you're subscribed to the channel, awesome. If you haven't done already, do so. Make sure to sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss when any of our shows go live. And if you're listening to us right now on your favorite audio podcasting app, we appreciate you as a listener. We thank you. And please subscribe on your favorite app and leave us a 5-star review. Jesse, another bad thing about that ninth inning. It officially eliminated the Arizona Diamondbacks from playoff contention this postseason.
Well, I was still holding out some hope. You know,
I had some hope
you
too.
Still figured that if the Brewers and the Phillies lost 13 consecutive games,
right? See,
Diamondbacks won out.
I told you,
never know.
He wasn't being honest. I was being honest. I still had hope. I still believed. I never stopped believing until that E is next to the Arizona Diamondbacks name, and unfortunately, that E has appeared. But let's talk a little bit about some of these other playoff matchups, because it's interesting. There is still, like you said, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers seem to be engaged in a little something. San Diego is still in that mix. So
D-backs have a chance to play spoiler. They finished the season against the Milwaukee Brewers. So
that's right.
They have a shot to actually still impact the playoff picture at this point.
Or maybe if the Brewers winning gets them into the playoffs and eliminates the Padres, maybe the Diamondbacks just lay down like Kevin Nash did for Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Finger poke of doom. Just go down for the series, let them walk over you, and right into the playoffs over the Padres.
Right now, the Padres have a half-game lead over the Phillies. The Phillies they've won their last 2 games, but they sort of nosedived for a little bit before that. So the Padres have now hopped over the Phillies, but yeah, I mean, you know, there's still a couple weeks. Some things could change hands, and who knows? Maybe the D-backs have an opportunity to try to get the Brewers into the playoffs, and you know, try to screw the Padres in the process. We'll see.
There's a lot of interesting storylines. Tampa Bay making it into a wild card spot. Seattle making it into the wild card spot. Toronto.
The Mariners.
The Mariners. Yeah.
I met a lot of Mariners fans when I was living in Washington, and honestly, there's not that many of them, at least like in my immediate circle there. Everyone roots for the Seahawks, and they're like unaware that Seattle has a local baseball team.
Oh my God.
They don't actually know it's a thing. But poor Mariners.
These are people in their 20s, aren't they? They have to be.
It's a sort of a mix.
If you grew up in the 90s, there's no way you don't know the Mariners, but that's
fair. Okay. That's fair. But no. The more I think about it, like older people, they've had their scars from rooting for the Mariners over the years, so they probably knew who they were. But anyway, the Seattle Mariners haven't made the playoffs since 2001, so I just have to give them a little shout out. Looks like they're in good position.
They're in good position, and interestingly enough, the next team that could make it in instead of them is the Baltimore Orioles, who have had a fantastic season. The Baltimore Orioles and the Arizona Diamondbacks were fighting for last place at this time last season, right? So
crazy.
The fact that the Orioles are 4 games out of a wild card spot, and the Diamondbacks just now today were eliminated from playoff contention, just goes to show how far those two teams have come, you know, and how much they've kind of bounced back. When you look at how many teams are below them, how many teams were there last year too, right? Like the Nationals were one of the bottom teams. Pittsburgh was. These teams are still at the bottom, right? Oakland, these are all teams that were there last year. Baltimore and the Arizona Diamondbacks have both had the best bounce back seasons of any team, with obviously Baltimore being 7 games over 500, being a much better bounce back season.
Pretty wild. Also, Kyle Bradish for the Baltimore Orioles today had a perfect game going. He finished with 8 2/3 innings in that game. So, speaking of guys you maybe never heard of who are like really, really, really good. Kyle Bradish, pretty incredible outing for him tonight for Baltimore.
Aaron Judge has been doing incredible things for the New York Yankees. One thing I find to be kind of funny as a person that, I mean, don't get me wrong, bloodline ties back to being a Yankees fan deep down inside.
Yeah,
but
we've heard about your dark past at times there. Yeah, you've let it out a few times.
I don't try to hide my past. I just try to embrace it and learn from it and get better as a person, right? But there are a lot of people mad about Aaron Judge being the big story in baseball this year, and I kind of find that funny because how is he not? I mean, is he not? Is he not the big story in baseball? Like
he and Ohtani, right?
I guess, but
Ohtani's old news, though.
Ohtani isn't, at the very least, Ohtani isn't doing all this for a team that's winning their division and going into the postseason, fair. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
the Angels were somehow eliminated before the Diamondbacks were.
Yeah,
so.
It's not good for them over there in Anaheim, right? But definitely, I get what people are saying. Shohei Ohtani is always going to be up there. He's always going to be there. But there's times where you gotta give the guy that's having this special moment for his team. I think it's just one of those things that a lot of national sports writers give it attention, and then that pisses a lot of people off that like so much attention is being driven.
I mean, and he's in New York, I mean, there's just like it's a perfect recipe for Aaron Judge to get all of the baseball headlines from the national media for like several months, which is basically what's happened. But I guess he's having an okay year.
It's an all right year.
60 homers, I guess. I guess that's worthy of some notoriety. So,
all right.
It's been pretty incredible.
Who do you think is poised to have a magical run in the playoffs, Jesse?
Ooh, who is poised to have a magical run in the playoffs? I still think the New York Mets are a pretty interesting team. There have been some health issues, obviously, with Scherzer and DeGrom. But, I mean, those two guys are about as dominant of a 1-2 punch as you'll find. And of course, in the playoffs, that's huge. And Diamondbacks fans know that better than anyone. If you have a dominant 1-2 punch in the postseason, you can get pretty far.
We
even
know,
if you have some
a
other
thing or
holes
two
in other
about
places.
that. Yeah, for sure.
And everyone wants to see the trumpets in the playoffs, like throughout all of October. There's nobody who doesn't want to see that.
Yeah,
so
no, you're not wrong about that.
The Dodgers, as good as they are right now, and as genuinely like incredible as this team is, you can still kind of see how in the playoffs some things could go wrong for them. Their starting rotation depth is pretty solid. Tony Gonsolin, I think, is still on his way back from injury, but you're still at a spot where like, okay, Tyler Anderson's had this outstanding season, but like, is Tyler Anderson gonna, start big games in the postseason? Like, I don't know if they're totally ready to go there yet.
I feel like you're just picking on guys that play for the Dodgers that have two first names. Like it's like Tyler Anderson.
I guess Anderson is a first name.
I mean, Anderson Cooper. There's
Anderson Cooper. Can you think of another Anderson than Anderson Cooper?
I don't need to because that guy has
Anderson
a television
Paak.
show. Anderson Paak.
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Of course.
Why should I even do this with you?
Of course.
Why should I even tell you names of famous people that you don't even know? It's not a game I'm going to play with you tonight.
Yeah, well,
Evan Phillips, all of these guys. You have a problem with two first name guys. Anyway,
Tyler, Anderson is a last name far more often than it's a first name. But
if you have a first name and a last name that sound like two first names, Jesse's going to say nobody knows who you are.
Are you about to tell me that you know someone whose first name is Vesia?
I could know someone that knows named Vesia. You don't know.
I wouldn't have heard of them anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of a moot point.
Exactly. This is what my day is like all the time, folks. This is what my text message exchanges with Jesse are like. This is what meetings with him are like. It's like this all the time.
Just me poking and prodding you, right. and then you like answer my question or whatever, and I don't understand your response.
Exactly. I feel like I'm on OGs with this guy all the time, but that's a good thing because OGs make you feel great. And if you haven't had a chance to try out our friends at OGs, they have a brand new line of sleep gummies that are incredible. Take it from somebody who has enjoyed them and digested them and had some very, very good night sleeps. I told you, Jesse, I have an internal clock that runs at about 6 hours. That's the most I can sleep in one stretch is about 6 hours. And luckily with these sleep edition gummies, you won't have that problem because I don't have that problem anymore. Don't sleep on these. They are the brand new aqua berry flavor gummies that have a special formula of 2-to-1 THC to CBN ratio, which CBN is a sleep compound that specifically helps with falling asleep and staying asleep. Michaela asked me the other day if she has a problem with taking indicas and then waking up I told her she probably shouldn't take this because if she can't wake up on an indica, let me tell you, this particular one knocked me out like a sack of bricks. I don't know. Is that what it's, sack of bricks? I don't know. But we recommend you check it out so you sleep like a sack of bricks over at OG's online at ogsbrands.com or on Instagram at ogsbrands. That's OGEEZ. Find their products at your local dispensary. If you can't, check their website. Must be 21 years or older to purchase. And grab yourself some OGs, get yourself a great night's sleep, and get ready to join us out at Four Peaks Brewing Company at the 8th Street Pub for our ASU tailgate party. Come out to Peaks Tailgate this Saturday to will this ASU team on. They need your help. They need your support. They need to beat Utah. That's what they need to do. So $50 gets you access to the full buffet. The buffet is loaded, Jesse.
This is still the most wild deal in PHNX history right here.
Nachos, chicken wings, grilled chicken sandwiches, pulled pork barbecue sandwiches, dessert, including cheesecake and donut holes. Plus, you'll get 2 Four Peaks
pumpkin
beers.
porter cheesecake. Yeah. Don't skip over that.
Yeah. This is not any cheesecake.
This isn't just any cheesecake.
You all know October's right around the corner.
Pumpkin porter cheesecake. It's pumpkin season. You guys know that. It's PSL season. And the best way to celebrate that is with pumpkin porter cheesecake. But you also get 2 free beers and a ride to the stadium. Plus, like I said, the PHNX Sun Devils guys will be out there cheating at cornhole. They'll be cheating at Jenga, and they'll be cheating at Connect 4. So keep an eye on them at all times. And I don't know if this deal has passed yet, but it's still in the ad read. So the first 15 people to sign up receive a ticket to the game and a PHNX membership. The next 15 people to sign up will receive a PHNX membership. That's $150 value for $50. I mean, and it's a great Saturday. Let me tell you, it's the best way to spend your Saturday. Click the link in our show notes to sign up. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy, and enjoy responsibly. It's been fun to watch the Chicago White Sox slowly slip away as close as they got to their division, Jesse. Because again, misery loves company. Remember that, folks. When you're miserable, you don't want to see people happy. You don't want to see people succeed. And we don't want to see the CHGO White Sox guys happy. They called us lowly. We're petty, and we remember that. And more than anything, we want to see them lose their division so that none of us make the postseason. They might be the best mid-team in our division, but damn it, we're creeping on the come up next season. Actually, they're a young and exciting team too, so we'll see what happens next season. But taking a look at the AllCity division, they definitely still seem to kind of have a stranglehold on first place. Rockies,
White Sox aren't making the playoffs, though.
They're not making the playoffs.
They're 6.5 games out of the wild card at this point. The Orioles are in front of them. There's just pretty much no way.
We gave up hope a long time ago, but they're just giving up hope now. So we're just trying to rub it in at this point. The Chicago Cubs, Jesse, out of the cellar, taking over third place, and our friends Patrick and the DNVR Rockies, they slip into last.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought that would happen at any point.
Not this season.
Yeah, I pretty much was sold that the Cubs were going to ride the basement the rest of the way. But yeah, the Rockies have not played great. Really, I mean, for the entire season at this point, but the best of the worst. There you go.
Josh said Derek, it is quite, in fact, the opposite. You should be sleeping on these, including that's sleep gummies. That was a good joke. Ryan says we are the best of the worst. No, the best of the worst. Yeah, the Chicago White Sox, I suppose, but we'll get them.
At the end of the day, I mean,
none of us make the playoffs.
It doesn't matter whether you finish with 82 wins or 78 wins or 72 wins. None of them are making the playoffs.
As long as we don't finish with 75 wins. Because if we finish with 75 wins, this guy over here is going to be insufferable.
That was my prediction at the beginning of the season.
We know.
That was my prediction 6 months ago.
You've talked about it. You've brought it up
I'm pretty sure I have the ability to predict the future.
Let's take a look. If you did, you'd win more money on these sporting apps. Let's take a look at the schedule coming up to see if the Diamondbacks are going to get to 75 wins. They just hit 70 with their win yesterday. They have a home series against the Giants coming up. The last home series of the year. If you guys want to get out to Chase Field and hang out with us, we are going to be out there all weekend long. If
you want to get to a game this season,
this is it.
And don't come blaming us when next week you're like, oh, there's still like a couple weeks in the season left, and you realize there are no more home games.
Nope.
So
that's the way it works.
Unless you want to go out to Houston or San Francisco or Milwaukee, you're going to have to come watch the Diamondbacks this weekend. It is the only way.
All of those places sound cooler And I don't mean cooler like cooler. I mean like temperature cooler.
Just temperature cooler
than here. So that doesn't sound.
Which
like
of those places would you? I can't decide if I want to ask most or least want to visit. Maybe I want to know the answer to both. Milwaukee, Houston, San Francisco.
The answer goes San Francisco, Milwaukee, Houston.
Okay.
That's
Houston this time of year is probably like a swampy, just nobody wants to be there right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, here's what. Be like our friend Gabriel. He says, I'm going to the game tomorrow, and I use the Game Time app. That a boy. That's what we want you to do.
We didn't even pay him to say that.
We did not pay him to say that. We did not give him a discount on tickets to say that. But that's where we will be. So meet up with us this Friday through Game Time. Get your tickets through Game Time. Tickets as low as $13. We're imploring you guys to meet us out there. We're going to have a blast. It's the last series of the year. I'll be getting drunk probably. Jesse will be drinking water and saying, well, actually, a lot. You guys get to experience this partnership, this duo in person, and we'd love to see as many of you guys as we can out there.
I'll have the press box lemonade. I won't drink water.
Yeah, he's right. He doesn't drink water. He doesn't pay for water, that's for sure. But
no,
you got to use Game Time to do that. Make sure to do so. I guess the best time to do so is on game day. That's what I've heard. That's what Jesse says. So Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to concerts, shows, and sporting events. Save up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. It's great for us procrastinators who always buy our tickets last minute. That's me. I have actively forgotten that I've purchased tickets early, Jesse. When I buy them too far in advance, I forget that I even bought them. And then the show comes and I'm like, oh shit, it's this Wednesday. That's why I buy my tickets last minute. That's the only way that I can remember them. But if you love PHNX, you'll love Game Time. Make sure to support us by buying your tickets through the link in the description.
Yes.
I think Leah will also pop it in the comments as well. But if you guys want to meet us up with us tomorrow, I don't know if tickets drop tomorrow. I don't know what the deal is. They say the best time to buy tickets is day of. So if you want to come over Friday night, hang out with us. We're going to be at the Four Peaks Draft Room. We'll be wherever. You tell us where you're going to be. And Jesse and I, we're like DoorDash. You order us, we'll come find you where you're at. So make sure to do so. And we'd love to see all of you guys out there. We thank you guys so much for your support this season. I know we bring it up so often, but we wouldn't be doing this thing without you. And I don't just mean PHNX D-backs. I mean this entire website. We are built on your support. We are built on trying to create a community that you guys enjoy and want to be a part of. And we can't thank you enough for being a part of that community. You guys make it fun for us to do this. So thank you guys for doing that. We look forward to seeing as many of you out there. We're sorry. We really wish we could have had a little bit more notice with this. It kind of came up suddenly. We know a lot of you guys have to work and whatever. Jesse and I will be out at the ballpark all weekend long. So make sure to get your tickets through Game Time all weekend long and show up. Text message us through the, DM us through the account on Twitter, hit us up, whatever. We'll come hang out with you guys wherever you're at because we will be at the ballpark all weekend long. And I'm flush with cash right now because I made money this week on all this fantasy stuff and all these football nonsense. So I hope to share a little bit of the wealth with you guys. I made some money last week on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, betting on the Buffalo Bills, and guess what? I'm doing that shit again. Just like betting against Coyotes won me money all NHL season. I'm betting on the Buffalo Bills. I'm riding with the Bills this season.
Leah wasn't our producer when
I know.
We did that.
Leah would have been. She would have heard so many bad things. But it's only because, of course, just because your team loses doesn't mean you have to lose on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills right now. They're a -5 favorite, -5-point favorite to cover the spread over the Dolphins. I'm taking that action. I'm also expecting this to be a very high offensive game. So I'm taking the over at 52.5. The Dolphins, do not sleep on the Dolphins. The Dolphins are incredible. Tua to Tyreek Hill is going to be something you're going to be hearing about all season long. So make sure to get down on that. Bet on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code of PHNX. And for new customers, you bet $5 on any NFL team. You will get $200 in free bets should your team win. That's on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Of course, make sure to get down on that and use our code of PHNX. They also have stepped up same game parlays this season that we've been talking about. Every leg you add, boost your winnings up to 100% with payouts bigger than ever. Why bet on football anywhere else? Do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use promo code PHNX, and get all of that free stuff all season long. To make things sweeter, you can throw down on the stepped up same game parlays once per game day all season long. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Oh, Jesse, that's all I got.
We have some news. We actually have some news.
We have some news, breaking news?
I mean, like, I guess it's breaking news.
What's the word?
Like, if news is not out there yet, I guess it's breaking news.
Okay, Jesse, what's the
news? Tommy Henry is starting tomorrow.
There it is. Tommy Henry is starting tomorrow. We had a feeling that might be the case, but that was a TBA for quite a while. Tommy Henry making that spot start.
He was listed as the probable pitcher for Reno, which seemed a little, this is something we kind of saw coming. Merrill Kelly was never an option. He started on Monday, so that would be short rest for him. Sure enough, Tommy Henry gets the ball against the Giants in the first game of the series tomorrow. So come watch Tommy Henry on the mound, try to get things back on track.
There were some Brandon Pfaadt truthers out there that saw things maybe lining up for him to pitch as well, but
never seemed too likely.
We're not going to see Brandon Pfaadt till next season, but we appreciate your enthusiasm for him, and I think he might help the Reno Aces become les champions of minor league baseball there. So keep an eye on that. We're going to be bringing you all sorts of highlights and clips from our friends at the Reno Aces, not just this.
Yeah, we still have a postseason around
we
here.
got a postseason.
Yeah, we got a postseason.
Then we got Arizona Fall League. Then we got winter meetings. Then we got spring training. The baseball never stops, folks. At least here in baseball nirvana in Arizona. We thank you guys so much for being here tonight.
I have to say one thing.
Let's hear it, Leah.
There was a super chat early on in the show, and I don't want it to get lost, so I saved it from Brandon.
Brandon Buckingham, what up, man? Thank you so much. He said trade Varsho for an actual closer. No, we are not trading our show king. That's a hot take, and I don't like that.
That is a hot take for a super chat.
I appreciate the super chat, but I don't like trading Varsho. Can we swap in maybe Stone Garrett after seeing him kind of flop around there defensively? I don't know. Jesse said after that play that Stone Garrett is not going to have a very long major league career. I'm pulling back the curtain.
Wow.
He probably doesn't want me to say that. Jesse doesn't believe in Stone Garrett. I'm just saying
I don't want to go out to that level just yet. I think that Stone Garrett.
He immediately took it back when he doubled it.
I immediately took it back. No, I mean, the Diamondbacks outfield is just very, very crowded, right? And Stone Garrett is just clearly not anywhere on the level of Corbin Carroll or Dalton Varsho or Alec Thomas or Jake McCarthy when it comes to defense. The defense is just not anywhere on the same level. So,
and we've seen it out of Jordan Luplow too, right? Like we've seen both of these guys struggle with plays that honestly the other outfielders make look easy at time, where we almost take it for granted how difficult of a play it is to make.
Yeah, so I just think that there's so many other options here that Stone Garrett's bat is going to have to carry him. Like, that's where his value is going to be. He's never walked very much, and so you're basically looking at, like, Stone Garrett's going to have to showcase some serious pop, for a long time in order to stick in the majors long term. It's not to say that that can't happen at all, right? I mean, we've seen it at times. Like, Stone Garrett has hit some very long, impressive home runs already. But it's gonna be tough. He just doesn't have the inside track that those other guys do, because the bat is really where the value has to come from.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the show, and if you didn't, Shane is leaving you the instructions on how to make a paper airplane in the comments. So either you enjoyed the show, or
the entertainment never stops.
You're gonna learn something one way or another. But this is our final show.
You're gonna learn something.
This is our final show.
Don't insult them, Derek. They know how to make a paper airplane.
Those are
I do not.
Very specific instructions. I'm just saying. And Josh Hett says he's on the edge of his seat right now. Come on. He's waiting for the next direction. So anyway, like this video for more paper airplane instructions. Until our next time we're doing this show, which will be Sunday, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at @cap_caveman with a K. Jesse is at Jesse and Friedman. Our show is at PHNX_DBacks. But of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We hope to see you guys out at Chase Field tomorrow and all weekend long. We're excited about that. We thank you guys for being here tonight with us on the chat. Super late, but you guys are super awesome. We thank you again on behalf of Jesse, Leah, and myself. We always appreciate your time. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you figure out what the fuck to do with your bullpen.